Lila stood by her window. She watched the other girls walk by. They were small, they were pretty, they were everything she was not. "Look at you," her mother said behind her. "Too tall, too plain, no man will ever want you." Layla's shoulders dropped. She had heard this before, every day, for years. She believed it now. She was flawed, she was wrong, she was unwanted. Her sisters laughed in the next room. "At least we don't look like her," they whispered. But Lila heard every word. Each one cut deep, each one made her smaller. She walked to the kitchen. It was her safe place. Here she could hide. Here she could work. Here she could pretend she had worth. Lila chopped vegetables. She stirred soup. She kneaded bread. Her hands were skilled. Her touch was gentle, but no one saw this. No one cared. "Lola," her mother called. "Come here, now." Lila's heart sank. What had she done wrong now? She wiped her hands. She walked slowly to the parlor. Her family sat there. They looked excited. "The prince needs a bride," her father said. "Every noble house must send a daughter." Lila's sisters smiled. They primped their hair. They smoothed their dresses. They knew they were beautiful. They knew they had a chance. "Not you two," her mother said. The sisters looked confused. "You are too young. The law says we must send our eldest." All eyes turned to Lila. Her blood went cold. Her hands shook. This could not be happening. "Me," she whispered. Her father nodded. "You leave tomorrow." Layla felt sick. The prince would see her. He would judge her. He would reject her, just like everyone else did. "But I'm not. I can't," she started to say. "Silence," her mother snapped. "You will go. You will try. You will probably fail. But you will go." That night, Lila packed her few things. She looked in the mirror. Her reflection showed the truth. She was too tall. Her face was plain. Her hair was simple. She was nothing special. She thought to herself, "Tomorrow my life ends. Tomorrow I face my worst fear. Tomorrow I meet the prince." The morning came too soon. Lila sat in the carriage, alone. Her family had not even said goodbye. They were ashamed of her. She was their last hope, their weakest hope. The wheels turned slowly. Each step took her closer, closer to judgment, closer to rejection, closer to her fate. She pressed her face to the window. The palace grew larger. It was beautiful. It was grand. It was not for her. "I don't belong here," she whispered to herself. "I never will." Prince Alden sat in his study. Letters covered his desk. Each one was the same. Noble families, pretty daughters, marriage proposals. He pushed them away. He was tired of this game, tired of pretty faces, tired of empty smiles. He wanted something real. "You must choose soon," his father said. The old king looked weak, tired, worried. "I know, father," Alden replied, "but I want to choose right, not just choose." The king nodded. "The girls arrive today. Maybe one will surprise you." Alden doubted it. They would all be the same. Perfect hair, perfect dress, perfect lies. He had a different plan. He would not judge by looks. He would not care about beauty. He would look deeper. He would find the real person inside. "Tell me about them," Alden said to his advisor. The man read from his list. "Lady Catherine, beautiful, rich, spoiled," he continued. "Lady Margaret, smart, cold, proud." Then he paused. "And Lady Lila, what about her?" Alden asked. The advisor looked uncomfortable. "She is different, my lord." "How different?" "She is tall, plain. Her family is not proud of her." Alden leaned forward. This was interesting. A girl her family did not want to send. A girl who was real. "I want to meet her first," he said. The advisor looked shocked. "My lord, surely the others—" "Her first," Alden said firmly. He walked to his window. He watched the carriages arrive. Pretty girls stepped out. They smiled, they waved, they performed. Then he saw her, a tall girl in a simple dress. She looked scared. She looked honest. His heart beat faster. Something about her was different. Something about her was right. That one, he said to himself, she might be the one. Panthives, not when Dr. Paev tosts on to be to Paev, not Dr. Paev tosts on to be to Paev, 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 tosts on to be. Alden had learned to see past beauty. His mother had been beautiful. She had also been cruel. She had left when he was young. Beauty meant nothing to him now. He wanted kindness. He wanted truth. He wanted someone who would stay, someone who would care, someone who would love him for who he was. The other princes mocked him. "You can have any girl," they said. "Why be picky?" But Alden knew better. A crown did not make a man worthy of love. Money did not buy happiness. Power did not create connection. He wanted what his parents never had. He wanted what the stories promised. He wanted real love. And something told him the scared girl in the simple dress might be his answer. The great hall was full of beautiful girls. They stood in perfect lines. Their dresses shone. Their smiles sparkled. They looked like dolls. Lila stood in the back. She tried to make herself small. She tried to disappear. She did not belong here. Everyone could see that. The other girls whispered. They pointed. They laughed. "Look at her," one said. "What is she doing here?" "Her family must be desperate," another replied. Lila felt her face burn. She wanted to run. She wanted to hide. She wanted to go home. But then footsteps approached. Heavy ones. Important ones. She looked up slowly. Prince Alden stood before her. He was tall, too. His eyes were kind. His smile was gentle. "Hello," he said simply. Lila's mouth went dry. Her hands shook. She tried to curtsy. She nearly fell. I, my lord," she stammered. Alden steadied her. His touch was warm. His grip was firm. His voice was, "You don't have to be afraid," he said. "I'm just a man." Lila looked into his eyes. They were not mocking. They were not cruel. They were interested. "I am not used to this," she whispered. Alden smiled wider. "Neither am I," he admitted. "These things are strange." The other girls stared. They could not believe this. The prince was talking to her. To plain, tall, simple, her. "Would you walk with me?" Alden asked. Lila's heart pounded. This was not supposed to happen. She was supposed to be ignored, rejected, forgotten. Yes, my lord," she said. He offered his arm. She stared at it. Should she touch a prince? Was she allowed? "It's all right," he said gently. Slowly, carefully, she took his arm. It was strong. It was steady. It was safe. They walked together, past the other girls, past their shocked faces, past their angry whispers. Lila felt different, taller somehow, not because of her height, because someone saw her. "Tell me about yourself," Alden said as they walked. "There is nothing to tell," Lila replied quickly. I doubt that, he said. Everyone has a story. They stopped by a window. Sunlight streamed in. It made Lila's simple dress glow. It made her plain face. I like to cook, she said quietly. Alden's face lit up. Really? What do you cook? Bread, soup, simple things. She paused. Nothing fancy, nothing royal. The best food is simple food, Alden said, made with care, made with love. Lila looked at him in surprise. Most nobles thought cooking was beneath them, but he seemed interested. Do you cook, my lord? She asked. Alden laughed. I try. I'm terrible at it, but I try. For the first time in years, Lila smiled. A real smile. A happy smile. A smile that reached her eyes. Gulrukip. You cannot nothing. Sanhol they koos holtorkometeds to peast, choldoxum produ ishuvnatafel. They talked for an hour, about small things, simple things, real things. When it ended, Lila felt different. She felt seen. I would like to talk again, Alden said. Lila nodded. She could not speak. She was too surprised, too happy, too hopeful. As she walked away, she heard the other girls talking. What does he see in her? She's nothing special. He'll change his mind soon. But Lila did not care. For 1 hour, she had felt special. For 1 hour, she had felt worthy. Maybe that was enough. Maybe that was everything. Lila's room was beautiful. Silk curtains, golden mirrors, soft beds, everything a princess should want. But Lila felt lost. She did not know what to do. She did not know how to be noble. Her maid tried to help. You must learn to embroider, she said. You must learn to play music. You must learn to be a lady. Lila tried. She really tried, but her fingers were clumsy. Her voice was rough. Her manners were simple. After 3 days, she could not stand it anymore. She missed working. She missed being useful. She missed feeling like herself. So she went to the kitchen. The cook looked surprised. My lady, he said, you should not be here. Please, Lila said, let me help. I need to work. The cook studied her face. He saw her sadness. He saw her need. He nodded slowly. Very well, he said, but carefully, quietly. Lila's heart sang. She washed her hands. She tied on an apron. She felt alive again. She chopped onions. She stirred stew. She kneaded dough. Her hands remembered. Her body relaxed. Her soul. The other kitchen workers watched. At first they were nervous. A lady in their kitchen, but soon they saw the truth. Lila worked hard. She worked well. She worked with joy. You're good at this, the cook said. I've done it my whole life, Lila replied. Why did you stop? Lila paused. Because I thought I had to. Because I thought this was beneath me now. The cook shook his head. Good work is never beneath anyone. No. That evening, Prince Alden came to find her. He looked in her room, the gardens, the library. Finally, a servant told him, "She is in the kitchen, my lord." Alden smiled. Of course she was. He found her rolling pastry. Flour dusted her hair. Her cheeks were pink from the heat. She looked perfect. "There you are," he said. Lila jumped. She tried to curtsy. Flour flew everywhere. "My lord, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be here. I know it's not proper. I just..." "Breathe," Alden said gently. "It's fine." He looked around the kitchen. It smelled wonderful. It felt warm. "What are you making?" he asked. "Apple tarts," Lila said shyly, "for tomorrow's dinner." "May I try one?" Lila blushed. "They're not ready yet, and they're not fancy enough for you." "Let me be the judge of that." She gave him a small piece of pastry. He tasted it slowly. His eyes closed. His face smiled. "This is incredible," he said. Layla's heart soared. Really, really, the best I've ever tasted. From that day on, Alden visited the kitchen often. He would sit and watch Lila work. Sometimes he helped. Usually he just talked. They spoke of simple things, the weather, the food, the people in the castle. But slowly they spoke of deeper things, dreams, fears, hopes. And slowly they began to care. Tithe. A dement pup kilonk of five, wired what talkest omitted, wo hold void duet vidi and the of. The other ladies did not understand. Why does he waste time with her? They asked. But the servants understood. They saw how Alden's face lit up when Lila entered a room. They saw how Lila stood taller when he was near. They saw love growing, week by week, day by day, moment by moment, in the simple warmth of the kitchen, where real things happened, where real people connected. As weeks passed, Lila changed, not her face, not her height, but something deeper. She learned the names of every servant. She remembered their families. She asked about their troubles. She cared about their lives. When the baker's son fell ill, Lila made soup. When the maid's mother died, Lila sat with her. When the guard hurt his hand, Lila cleaned the wound. "You have gentle hands," the castle healer said. "Natural skill." "I just want to help," Lila replied. "That's what makes you good at it." Soon, people came to Lila for comfort, for healing, for kindness. The head cook noticed too. "Your breads are better," he said. "Your soups taste richer. Your pastries are perfect." Lila smiled. "I'm learning. I'm growing." But it was more than skill. She was learning confidence. She was learning worth. She was learning she mattered. Prince Alden saw the changes too. "You walk differently now," he said one evening. "How do I walk?" Lila asked. Lila asked. "Taller, straighter, like you belong." Lila thought about this. "Maybe I do belong here with these people in this life." "You do belong," Alden said firmly. "You belong here. You belong with me." So that one tab, not to be sponsored upon it, 5 noon I'd went to lure, and I want to most bathrooms to bold to mote more notable. But not everyone was happy with Lila's growth. The other noble ladies watched with anger. "She thinks she's special now," Lady Catherine said. "She's still just a kitchen girl," Lady Margaret added. They began to spread rumors, cruel ones, hurtful ones. "She's not really noble," they whispered. "She's probably a servant's daughter. The prince will see through her soon." Some of the nobles listened. They began to look at Lila differently, with doubt, with scorn, with hatred. Lila heard the whispers. She felt the stares. Her old fears came back. "Maybe they're right," she told Alden one night. "Maybe I don't belong." Alden took her hands. "Listen to me," he said. "Worth is not about blood. It's not about beauty. It's about character." "But what if I'm not enough?" Lila asked. "You are more than enough," Alden said. "You are everything." His words gave her strength. His faith gave her courage. His love gave her power. She stood straighter the next day. She spoke louder. She smiled brighter. The whispers continued, but now Lila did not care. She knew who she was. She knew her worth. She knew she was loved. One day, a child in the village fell sick, very sick. The royal healer could not help. "Let me try," Lila said. The healer looked doubtful. "You are not trained, my lady." "But I have helped others. Please, let me try." She went to the child. She made special soup. She prepared healing herbs. She sat by the bedside. She prayed. Slowly, the child got better. The fever broke. The color returned. The life came back. Word spread quickly. The kitchen girl had saved a life. The tall, plain girl had worked a miracle. That night, the castle was different. People looked at Lila with new eyes, with respect, with admiration. "You did something wonderful today," Alden said. "I just did what felt right," Lila replied. "That's what makes it wonderful." Lila smiled. She was not the same girl who had arrived months ago. That girl had been scared, broken, lost. This girl was strong, confident, found. This girl was ready for whatever came next. One evening, Lila could not sleep. She walked to the garden. The moon was bright. The air was cool. The world was quiet. She sat by the fountain. She thought about her journey, how far she had come, how much she had changed. "Beautiful night," a voice said behind her. She turned. Prince Alden walked toward her. He looked tired, worried. "Yes," she agreed. "Peaceful." He sat beside her, close enough to touch, but not touching, not yet. "Are you all right?" she asked. Alden sighed. "My father is getting worse. The doctors say not long now." Lila's heart ached for him. "I'm sorry. When he dies, I will be king. Everything will change. I will have no choice in anything." They sat in silence, both thinking, both feeling, both understanding. "Tell me about your father," Lila said softly. Alden's face softened. He was a good king, a fair man, but not much of a father, always busy, always worried, always distant. "Do you miss him, even though he's still here?" Alden looked surprised. "Yes, I miss the father I never had. Is that strange?" "No," Lila said. "I understand." "Tell me about your family," Alden said. Lila's face darkened. "They never saw me, really saw me. I was just a burden." "Their loss," Alden said firmly. "Sometimes I wonder, what if I had been different, prettier, smaller, would they have loved me?" Alden turned to face her. "Lila, look at me." She met his eyes. They were intense, serious, full of emotion. "You are perfect as you are. Anyone who cannot see that is blind." Tears filled Lila's eyes. "How can you say that? How can you see what no one else sees?" "Because I'm looking with my heart, not my eyes." The words hung in the air, heavy, important, true. Slowly Alden reached for her hand. She did not pull away. His fingers were warm, strong, gentle. "Lila," he whispered. "Yes? I think I'm falling in love with you." Her breath caught, her heart raced, her world shifted. "I think I'm falling in love with you too," she whispered back. They sat there, hands joined, hearts open, souls connected. It was not a kiss. It was not a grand gesture. It was just truth. Simple, honest, beautiful truth. "What happens now?" Lila asked. "I don't know," Alden admitted, "but we'll figure it out together." A night. Ondorkol, Pikantomin Paim, it's the presence of word. From that night on, everything was different. Not in big ways, in small ones. The way Alden smiled when he saw her. The way Lila's face lit up when he entered a room. The way they moved toward each other. Natural, inevitable. Right. They talked more, deeper conversations about books, about dreams, about the future. "If you could do anything," Alden asked one day, "what would it be?" Lila thought carefully. "I would have a kitchen, a big one, where I could cook for people who need it. Poor people, sick people, hungry people." Alden's heart swelled. Of course she would want to help others. Of course her dreams would be selfless. "What about you?" she asked. "I would be a good king, a fair one who listens, one who cares, one who makes things better." They dreamed together, they planned together, they hoped together. Love grew between them, not rushed, not desperate, steady, strong, sure. The kind of love that lasts, the kind of love that endures. The noble families were growing angry. Their daughters had been at court for months, but Prince Alden only had eyes for her. "This cannot continue," Lord Hartwell said to his friends. "That girl is not suitable." "She's beneath him," Lady Pemberton agreed. "Beneath all of us." "Something must be done," Lord Blackwood added darkly. They met in secret. They made plans, cruel plans, dangerous plans. First, they went to the king, old and weak. He listened to their complaints. "Your son is bewitched," they said. "That girl has trapped him somehow." "She is not worthy of the crown," they insisted. "She will ruin the kingdom." The king was confused, tired, easily influenced. Perhaps you are right," he said slowly. "Tak, naud, och budek monisov tulias. Lorn tak, dat noni presvont." Meanwhile, Lila and Alden were happy. They spent their days together, working, talking, planning their future. "I want to announce our engagement soon," Alden told her. Lila's heart soared. "Are you sure? Are you ready for everything that comes with it?" "I'm ready for you," he said. "For us, for our life together." But the nobles were not finished. They dug deeper. They searched harder. They found something. A secret, an old one, a dangerous one. "We have her now," Lord Blackwood said with a cruel smile. "Por not is pandion not time, would spoken rind powerful, not a mode with tive." The summons came the next morning. "His Majesty wishes to see Lady Lila immediately." Lila's stomach dropped. Something was wrong. She could feel it. She entered the throne room. The king sat there, stern, cold, angry. The nobles stood beside him, smirking, satisfied, victorious. "Lady Lila," the king said slowly, "we need to discuss your family." Lila's blood went cold. "My family, Your Majesty? Your real family?" The words hit like a blow. Lila swayed. Her secret, her deepest shame. They knew. I don't understand," she stammered. Lord Blackwood stepped forward. "Tell him the truth. Tell him who you really are." Lila looked around the room. All eyes were on her, judging, condemning, waiting. She thought of Alden. He was not here. They had made sure of that. She was alone. "Your Majesty," she whispered. "You are not noble-born," the king finished. "Are you?" Lila's shoulders sagged. Her head dropped. Her secret was out. "No," she said quietly. "I am not." The room erupted. Gasps, shouts, accusations. "Fraud."
"Imposter!"
"She tricked us all." The king raised his hand. Silence fell. "Explain," he commanded. Lila took a shaky breath. "My father, he was a servant. In my mother's house, they fell in love. I am their daughter." "A bastard," Lady Pemberton spat. "A servant's child," Lord Hartwell added. "Not fit to marry a prince," they all agreed. The king nodded slowly. "Indeed, you have deceived us all." "I never meant to deceive anyone," Lila said desperately. "I never wanted to come here. My family forced me. I just tried to survive." "By lying," the king accused. "By existing," Lila shot back. Then she caught herself. "Forgive me, Your Majesty. I spoke out of turn." But something in her voice made the king pause. Something strong, something real. "You said your family forced you to come." "Yes, Your Majesty. They were ashamed of me, but the law said they must send their eldest daughter, so they sent me. And you came anyway, knowing you would be discovered." Lila lifted her chin. "I came because I had no choice. I stayed because I found something here I never had before." "What?" "Purpose, kindness, love." The word hung in the air, heavy, important, true. The king studied her face. Behind the fear, he saw strength. Behind the shame, he saw dignity. Guards, he said finally, escort Lady Lila to her chambers. She will remain there until I decide what to do. As the guards led her away, Lila held her head high. Her secret was out, her shame was public, her future was uncertain. But she was still herself, still strong, still worthy of love. Even if no one else could see it. Prince Alden returned from his trip that evening. He went straight to find Lila, but her chambers were guarded. "Where is Lady Lol?" he demanded. "Confined, my lord, by the king's order." Alden's blood boiled. He stormed to his father's chambers. "What have you done?" he shouted. The old king looked tired, sad, confused. "She lied to us, son. She is not noble born. She cannot be your bride." "I don't care about her birth," Alden said firmly. "I care about her heart. You cannot marry a servant's daughter. I can marry whoever I choose." Father and son stared at each other, both stubborn, both determined, both right in their own way. "The nobles will revolt," the king warned. "Let them," Alden said. "I would rather have their anger than lose her love." He left his father sitting there, alone, worried, afraid. Not. Right, one by testimony of this podatical begrudglar andrit. That night, Alden found a way to see Lila. Secret passages, hidden doors. The castle had many. He slipped into her chambers. She sat by the window, staring out, looking lost. "Lila," he whispered. She turned. Her eyes were red from crying. Her face was pale from worry. "You shouldn't be here," she said. "If they find you—" "I don't care," he crossed to her quickly. "Are you all right?" "They know," she said simply. "They know what I am." "You are the woman I love," Alden said fiercely. "That's all that matters. It matters to them. It matters to the kingdom. It matters to your father." Alden took her hands. "It doesn't matter to me." Lila pulled away. "But it should. You're going to be king. You need a queen who can help you, not hurt you. You help me every day. You make me better. You make me worthy of the crown." "I'm nobody," Lila said sadly. "I'm just a servant's daughter who got above herself." Alden's heart broke. They had beaten her down again, made her small again, made her doubt herself. "Listen to me," he said urgently. "You are somebody. You are everything. You are the kindest, strongest, most amazing woman I have ever known. But your kingdom will be better with you beside me, will be stronger with your heart guiding it, will be blessed to have you as queen." Tears flowed down Lila's cheeks. "You really believe that?" "I know it." They held each other then, tightly, desperately, completely. "What do we do now?" Lila asked. "We fight," Alden said simply. "Together." "Ding time, band compulpatis and that the mostum de toms and the powertide wait in codis, that tia mika." The next morning came too soon. Lila was summoned again, this time to face everyone, the king, the nobles, the court. She walked in alone, her head high, her spine straight, her heart ready. "Lady Lila," the king began, "you stand accused of deception, of fraud, of lying to the crown." "I stand accused of being born," Lila replied calmly. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. She was supposed to be ashamed, broken, begging. Instead, she was strong. "You pretended to be noble," Lord Blackwood accused. "I never pretended anything," Lila said. "I came when summoned. I answered when asked. I lived when allowed." "You seduced the prince," Lady Pemberton spat. "I cooked in his kitchen. I spoke when spoken to. You don't deny you're a bastard," Lord Hartwell demanded. Lila lifted her chin higher. "I don't deny who I am. I am the daughter of love, of two people who cared more about each other than about your rules." The crowd was silent now, shocked by her strength, surprised by her dignity. "You have no right to be here," someone shouted. "I have the right to breathe," Lila shot back. "The right to live, the right to love and be loved. Not by a prince, by anyone who chooses to love me." Then the doors burst open. Prince Alden strode in, magnificent in his anger, beautiful in his determination. "Enough," he said. His voice carried across the room. Strong, clear, final. He walked to Lila's side, took her hand, faced the crowd together with her. "This woman," he said loudly, "is worth more than all of you combined." Gasps filled the room. Shock, outrage, disbelief. She has shown more grace, more kindness, more nobility in these few months than most of you have shown in your entire lives. He turned to his father. "You want to know what makes a good queen? Not birth, not blood, character, heart, soul." The king looked at his son, at the woman beside him, at their joined hands. "And this woman has more character in her smallest finger than most people have in their entire bodies." "She's nobody," Lord Blackwood protested. "She's everybody," Alden countered. "She's the baker's daughter who needs healing. She's the servant's child who deserves kindness. She's the common person who makes this kingdom great." Lila squeezed his hand. Her heart was full. Her soul was soaring. "If you reject her," Alden said to the room, "you reject me. If you cast her out, you cast me out too. You would give up the crown?" The king asked quietly. "For her, yes." The words rang out, clear, true, unshakable. "But more importantly," Alden continued, "I believe she would make the crown." All eyes turned to Lila. She stood there, tall, strong, radiant with love. "I never asked for a crown," she said quietly. "I never wanted power. I only wanted to matter, to someone, to anyone." She looked around the room. "You see my birth as a weakness. I see it as strength. I know what it's like to struggle, to hunger, to be forgotten. If I wear a crown someday, I will never forget. I will never ignore. I will never abandon those who need help." Her voice grew stronger. "You can reject me. You can cast me out. But you cannot make me ashamed of who I am. I am love's daughter. I am kindness' child. I am enough." The room was silent, completely silent. Even her enemies had no words. Because in that moment, standing there with her prince beside her, Lila was not just enough. She was magnificent. The silence stretched on, heavy, tense, full of possibility. Then, slowly, the old king stood. His legs shook, his hands trembled, but his voice was, "I have been king for 40 years, he said. "In that time, I have seen many nobles, many ladies, many potential queens." He paused, looked at Lila, really looked at her. "I have never seen one handle themselves with more grace under pressure." Gasps filled the room. Was the king changing his mind? "You stood there," he continued, "facing disgrace, facing exile, facing the loss of everything, and you never begged, never groveled, never broke." Lila's heart pounded. Where was this going? "You defended your birth with pride, your love with courage, your worth with dignity." The king took a step forward, then another, until he stood before her. "That," he said quietly, "is how a queen behaves." The room erupted, shouts, protests, celebration. But Lila only heard one voice, the king's. "Rise, Lady Lila," he said formally. "Rise, future queen of this realm." Lila's knees nearly buckled. Alden steadied her. His face was bright with joy, with pride, with victory. "Father," he said, "thank you." The old king nodded. "I was wrong, son. Birth matters less than character, and her character is flawless." Sometimes, but the nobles were not finished. Lord Blackwood stepped forward. "Your Majesty, the people will never accept her. A servant's daughter as queen. It's unthinkable. Then perhaps, the king said mildly, it's time people learn to think differently. The kingdom will suffer, Lady Pemberton warned. The kingdom, Alden said firmly, will thrive under a queen who understands suffering, who has lived struggle, who will never forget where she came from. One by one the protesters fell silent, not convinced but defeated. Because the king had spoken, the prince had chosen, and the law was clear. Prepare for a royal wedding, the king announced. In 1 month's time, Prince Alden will marry Lady Lila. He paused, smiled slightly, and may God help anyone who stands in their way. Ritian. Sentence is to pay to poor single, to mass pulled the salmon. That night, Lila and Alden walked in the garden, alone, together, finally free. I can't believe it, Lila whispered. I'm going to be queen. You already are, Alden said. In here. He touched his heart. Are you sure about this? Really sure. There will be challenges, opposition, people who never accept me. Alden stopped walking, took her face in his hands. Lila, listen to me. You are the strongest person I know, the kindest, the most worthy. But what if I fail? Then we'll fail together, and try again together. He kissed her then, soft, sweet, full of promise. Besides, he whispered against her lips, I've seen you handle a kitchen full of chaos. I think you can handle a kingdom. Lila laughed, really laughed, for the first time in forever. I love you, she said. I love you too, he replied, my queen. The wedding preparations began immediately, but they were different, simpler, more personal. Lila insisted on cooking part of the feast herself. It's who I am, she told the shocked wedding planner. Alden helped her. They worked side by side in the kitchen, flour in their hair, laughter on their lips, love in their hearts. This is perfect, Lila said as they kneaded bread together. This is us, Alden agreed. Outside, the nobles plotted and complained, but inside the kitchen, two hearts prepared for forever. The servant's daughter and the prince, the commoner and the royal, the woman and the man who saw past everything to love. Their wedding would be more than a ceremony. It would be a statement, a promise, a beginning. The beginning of a new kind of kingdom, where worth mattered more than birth, where kindness ruled over cruelty, where love conquered all. Just like in the stories, just like in the dreams, just like it should be. 5 years later, Queen Lila stood in her kitchen. Yes, her kitchen. She had insisted on keeping one in the royal quarters, a place where she could be herself. She stirred a pot of soup, simple vegetable soup, nothing fancy, nothing royal, but made with love, made with care. Mama, a small voice called. Lila turned. Her daughter toddled in. 3 years old, dark hair, bright eyes, a smile that could light the world. Hello, my darling, Lila said, scooping her up. Behind the little girl came her son. 5 years old, tall like his mother, kind like his father, perfect like both of them. What are you cooking, Mama? He asked. Soup for the village children, Lila replied. They're coming to the castle today. Every week, Lila opened the castle to the poor, the sick, the hungry. She fed them, healed them, loved them. It had shocked the nobles at first, a queen who served others. But the people loved her for it. The kingdom thrived because of it. Can we help? Her daughter asked. Always, Lila said with a smile. King Alden entered the kitchen. He wore his crown, his royal robes, but his face was relaxed, happy, home. There's my family, he said warmly. The children ran to him. He scooped them both up. Strong arms, gentle heart, perfect father. How was the council meeting? Lila asked. Long, boring, full of men who talk too much. He grinned. I missed the kitchen. 5 years as king had changed Alden too. He was stronger now, more confident, more effective. But he was still the man who fell in love with a girl in an apron, still the prince who chose love over convention. The soup smells wonderful, he said, setting the children down. It's your mother's recipe, Lila replied, the one you taught me. Alden's face softened. His mother had died 2 years ago, but before she did, she had met Lila, loved her, welcomed her. She would be proud, he said quietly. She would be proud of you, Lila corrected. You're a good king, a great king. We're good together, Alden said. That's what makes us great.
My turn.
The castle doors opened. Children poured in. Clean children, dirty children, rich children, poor children, all welcome. Queen Lila served them personally. Soup in one hand, bread in the other, smiles for everyone. Thank you, Your Majesty, a small girl whispered. Thank you for coming, Lila whispered back. King Alden watched from the doorway, his heart full, his soul. This was not the queen anyone expected. This was better. This was real. This was perfect. The nobles had learned to accept it. Some even learned to appreciate it. The kingdom prospered, the people thrived, and love ruled. Soon that night, after the children were in bed, Lila and Alden walked to their garden, the same fountain where they first spoke of love. Do you ever regret it? Lila asked. Choosing me? Alden looked at her in amazement. How can you still ask that? Because I'm still just me, tall, plain, simple. Alden cupped her face gently. You are tall like a queen should be, beautiful like love makes you, simple like truth requires. You are everything I dreamed of, and more than I deserved. We both got more than we deserved, Lila said softly. They sat by the fountain, older now, wiser now, still in love. The children asked me today where princes find their princesses, Lila said. What did you tell them? Lila smiled. I told them princes find princesses in the most unexpected places, sometimes in ballrooms, sometimes in libraries. She paused. Her smile grew wider. And sometimes in kitchens, where the real magic happens, where hearts meet, where love begins. Alden laughed, and where it continues, every day, forever. He kissed her hand, my queen, my king. They sat there in the moonlight, two people who found each other, two hearts that chose love, two souls that proved worth has nothing to do with birth. Beauty comes from within, and love conquers everything. Even in a world that says it can't, even when others say it won't, even when the odds say it shouldn't. Love finds a way, love makes a path, love wins. Always. Thunfolle, the want for the brass. And in the kitchen, where their story began, fresh bread cooled on the shelves, ready for tomorrow, ready for the children who would come, ready for the love that would be. Because some stories never really end, they just keep growing, keep spreading, keep inspiring others to believe in love, in hope, in the magic that happens when two hearts decide they belong together. No matter what the world says, no matter what others think, no matter what, love is enough. Love is everything. Love is forever.